Yeah.
When they took the whole,
See,
that
he
whole
didn't
department.
wanna
I know
be
it's been a
one
couple
time.
years.
No,
so
he
hopefully
didn't.
the turnout is good, but
Yeah.
with it being on a Saturday.
But then it got messy,
Get more people
as far as like the nonprofit arm and the city, and then there were some other nonprofits like who's in
Well, I
control
do.
of small
Those
business
Amish
development
people,
in the city.
they go off cattywampus.
One minute.
And then we actually just went door to door downtown and posted
I have a
flyers
clock right here as
everywhere.
well.
Yeah.
There's a clock up there on the TV too.
I had,
Because I did
Dancing
eat all
the
my
dead
french
cat without
fries.
hitting the clock.
So
maybe that was before the
That's a terrible thing.
Right.
So Terry
I
Street.
basically
Trying
sent
to
it
get
to
into your
DDA,
training.
Chamber of Commerce.
They sent me an email again, and I was able to get on.
Really?
All I had to do was take the test, that's all I had to do.
Well,
We should. Yeah.
my daughter had to put a different
Yeah, I
browser
remember
in
mentioning it too.
for me.
Roped into a volunteer
Nothing
thing of
with
some
it.
sort for that, yeah. Love your optimism.
The more the merrier.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Barlow.
Here.
Brem.
Here.
Devroy.
Here.
McLean.
Here.
Nesbit.
Here.
Rezegi.
Here.
Rocha.
Here.
Stenzelbarton.
Here.
Tassava.
Here. Please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Chief.
Okay, you have the agenda in front of you. Is there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
Support.
Motion by Rocha.
Good job.
Supported by McLean. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Also in front of you, you have the February 10th, 2025 workshop minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Motion by Stenzelbarton, supported by Nesbit, to approve the minutes of the February 10th, 2025 workshop meeting minutes. Roll call.
Brem.
Yes.
Devroy.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Nesbit.
Yes.
Rezegi.
Yes.
Rocha.
Yes.
Stenzelbarton.
Yes.
Barlow.
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, item A, approval of minutes of the February 10th, 2025 regular meeting. Any additions or corrections to that? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion, sir.
Support.
Barlow.
Yes, ma'am. Support by motion by Barlow, supported by Rocha.
Yes, sir.
Okay, roll call.
McLean.
Yes.
Nesbit.
Yes.
Rezegi.
Yes.
Barlow.
Yes.
Devroy.
Yes.
Brem.
Yes.
Rocha.
Yes.
Stenzelbarton.
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Public hearings, we have none. Public comment. This time, anybody wants to address the council, I'll give you 3 minutes. Tell me who you are and where you live.
Okay. Do I have to stand up?
Right over there, right at the podium.
Michael Payne, property I own is at 411 West, is it?
Talk into the mic.
There we go.
That way people out in
Yes.
whatever land they're in
TV
here.
land.
Okay, Michael Payne. I own a property at 411 West Clinton Street. I'm here tonight because the city of Hastings, when they rebuilt the, I believe it was a sewer main, they tore up it might have been water, I couldn't remember if it was sewer or water, but when they did that, they tore up my sewer line. They smashed it. I know that for a fact because what I have here is a piece of the cast iron that was not between the main and the sidewalk, not between the main and the curb. That's perfectly good. And I can show you that if you were interested. And what I ask at this point is they replace it between the main and the sidewalk. I have filed with the city, And it's been almost a year, no results or no answer whatsoever. And finally, the deputy clerk says, I'm not gonna do anything. I turned it over to the insurance, so I'm not even gonna, she wouldn't even talk to me. So that's why I'm here tonight. I don't know if there's any questions, sir.
This, Michael, this is public comment is a public comment. There's no interaction between.
Okay, oh, that's all right.
So we heard your issue, so,
Okay.
thank you. Anybody else? Okay, formal recognitions and presentations. Dave Hatfield must be at another planning commission meeting tonight. Presentation from Dennis Redmond, president of the Berry County Expo Center Board of Economic Impact Analysis, information for the forthcoming Rock Country event on June 13th through 14th, 2025. Dennis, go ahead.
How are you guys all tonight?
Good.
Good. I'm here on behalf of 46 Entertainment, which is the company based out of Tennessee that have contacted us that is going to do the Rock the Country out at the Expo Center this year in June. What they have asked me to come in front of the council board tonight is, and I didn't know this until I talked to Mark. Mark has sent them a invoice for time that he is quoted that he's going to need for reimbursement. They have come and they really want to see if you guys can give them some reprieve on that, and we're also going to go to the county and see if we can do that, and the city. They just really want to feel that the city, the county, and everybody that is here in this community is behind this and really wants it to be here. And I don't know if that is something that you guys need to talk about in private chambers. I don't know if that's something that can even be done. But I'm here to ask that, and you know, we'll see where it goes. The Rock the Country is going to be a huge economic impact for the city, the county, and even surrounding counties. I mean, for one thing, Berry County doesn't have the facilities to even house everybody that's going to come here for that concert. So Grand Rapids, Kent County will get some. I'm sure that Ione County is going to get some. I can't believe a county that's not surrounding us will not see some impact from this. You know, our vendors here in town, and I'll just use, you know, Waldorf Seasonal Grill, our restaurants like that, you know, they're going to see an uptick that's going to be, I believe, huge. I can tell you this, that I don't know what the final numbers are, and I don't think Entertainment 46 does either. Right now, we are the largest selling concert in the country for them. And it's not just their Rock the Country. I think there's 10 of them. We are the largest selling concert in the country for 46 Entertainment. So I'm guessing our numbers are going to be, and this is just a guess, I'm guessing our numbers are going to be over 20, maybe even 25. So I don't know exactly where you folks need to go with this or where I can pursue this otherwise. So that's where I stand. Just for them, and we'll see where it goes. I don't know if you have any insight for me. And I know Mark gave them an invoice for roughly $18,000 for 28 hours for 3 people for 2 vehicles also. Just let me know what you think I need to do, and we'll go from there. All right?
Do we have any questions?
Yeah.
Why don't we start down there, John?
Yeah, so I was looking through the packet here on Anderson, South Carolina, and the
Yep.
economic impact that it has.
Yep.
And it talked about how 50% of the visitors that came for those concerts in South Carolina came from outside of the state. And this being Michigan's only concert like this, I anticipate a lot of that coming from the same. But a lot of that economic impact was sitting between $3 and $7 million overall for the entire community.
Right.
And that was with, I believe the numbers were just over 22,000
Right.
for that Anderson. So you're looking at very comparable numbers, maybe even slightly higher for this particular.
Yes, from what I know, that's true, but I'm reading the exact same stuff you're reading, so I'm only going by what I've been given, yes.
Okay, that's all I had.
Yep.
Rizky?
No question.
No, you go.
When I was reading through the packet, my biggest concern when I saw it was the 22,000. And I just thought, how are we going to contain that? You know, I was thinking of, you know, how many policemen, et cetera, would have to be, 22,000 is a lot of people.
It is.
So I didn't know how much that would cost, how much, if we even had the manpower for something like that.
Well, and Mark was at the meeting, we were at a meeting, what, 6 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And there was, and I'm just gonna guess, because I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, 35 people involved in the meeting, maybe 40, between the people that are all out at 911 and the people that were on virtual. There was, I believe, 3 state troopers from the Whalen Post, our county sheriff was there, Mark was there, 911 dispatch was there, there was people from Tennessee, and I'm gonna be honest with you, when they first approached us, we said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. In fact, we didn't talk to them the first 2 times. They flew up here to talk to us on a Thursday night. I called a special meeting. They flew up here and talked to us. And these people, that's what they do for a living. They have a group of people that get the cars on the road into the facility. That's all they do. They have a group of people that once the cars are in the facility, they park them. That's all they do. They've got one group of people that the fairgrounds right now, they know where every tree, every spike, every corner of the barn is, the pitch of the roof. They know everything about the fair. They know more about it than I do. They have taken the area that they're going to have for their concert, and they know exactly how many people can get in there. The number I have heard, and this is not in stone, the number I've heard, the max they can have is 28.5. But I don't know that, because they figured out how many people they can fit in that area, how many cars they can get on the property, and everything about it. So, I'm kind of going by what they've told me. That's all I can do.
Okay.
But I agree with it. We said the same thing.
That, yeah.
100 and some acres out there?
160.
Okay. I had the pleasure of being at one of the first meetings. You asked me to come out there.
I did, yep.
And I think if you get the cooperation from all the surrounding communities, I think, let's say you're gonna have 28,000 people out there. My question would be, how many do you think are gonna camp there? How many are gonna come and stay there? We don't know any of this.
I don't either. I can only tell you that they say they're gonna have 500 campsites.
Yep.
Now, the 500 campsites includes both the campsites we have, plus the car camping, which, from what I understand, is gonna be in the infield. That's gonna be somebody that drives their car up, pitches a tent, and that's where they're gonna stay for 3 days.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I mean, entertainment, for 46 Entertainment is bringing in portable showers. They're bringing in their portable porta-johns. The car camping people, they're gonna pay $10 a shower if they want to shower for the next 3 days. So, and here, guess, I don't want to be naive or anything. I think the 500 campsites isn't gonna include the car camping, but I do not know that.
Any questions?
It does not? Okay.
And just that, you said that your own people will actually police the cars, the parking and everything.
We will not.
No.
We have nothing to do with this. All we are doing is taking 160 acres, and we are running that square of 168 acres to 46 Entertainment. They have, give or take, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, didn't they say between 200 and 300 security people on their payroll?
Okay.
Plus the county officers that they have in the county, any state, like the posse, state troopers, that's them. It's all on them.
Okay.
They are the professionals, we are not.
They want something from us? Is that what I understand?
They would like to have some reprieve of the bill that Mark has sent them, or the invoice.
All right, real quick, Mark, you sent them a bill that was...
I sent them a quote.
A quote, yes.
A quote for, and you didn't inflate it or anything. It's how much you're gonna spend for
FEMA
the...
rates, which is what they used to see.
Right, so they should expect to get a bill for...
All I'm doing is asking, Terry.
Okay,
That's
all right,
all
I just
I'm
wanna
doing.
make
Yep.
sure.
I'm doing
Don't
what...
get me wrong, I love the idea
No,
of it.
no.
I just don't want Mark to be undercut. for
No, and that's what I said.
Yeah.
I didn't know where to go. Maybe I should have gone to Mark first, instead of coming to you folks. But this is where I came, and I don't know
which way you want me to go from here.
Oh, I'm just saying, if Mark did his job, which I'm sure he did right, I'm with him.
Comments, Bill? So what you want to see from us really though is the city council to support this happening.
Absolutely, yes.
You know, it's up to you know, our fire department and if our police chief gets involved, it's up to them to decide what they're gonna bill you.
Okay.
And I assume it'll have to be approved by the city, but I for one am in favor of having that out there. You know, I never made it to Woodstock. So I was
You didn't
there.
make it?
No, I was somewhere else in '69, so. But I knew it was happening. That's the year I graduated, but I'd like to think that the council as a whole is pretty supportive of this happening. You know, it's like anything. It's the first time we did Barry Roubaix.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, we're real hesitant about that.
Right, and it's like I said, when 46 Entertainment, they contacted the fairgrounds. And we said, because, you know, 10 years ago, we had the same thing. Somebody wanted to do a concert. Well, it just turned out to be something that we, as a group, didn't think was good for us.
You know, I know the issues they've had when they've had B93 concert they used to have
Yep.
over to Allegan. That used to be quite a mess because traffic would line up on the freeway. You know, we're kind of off that freeway a little bit, so it won't it won't be a problem over there. But I personally, I'd like to have
Can we make that
show of
motion?
hands who's in favor of this. You know, we don't have to make a motion or anything. Just a show of hands who's in favor of it.
Right,
You know?
and I appreciate that, I do,
Yeah.
I really do.
I
So,
think
I guess I'll talk to Mark and we'll see where we go from here.
Anybody have any other questions?
Just real quick,
Yes.
yeah, so we have had discussions, the police, the sheriff's department, corrections department, everybody that is available to work has been called in, already in for overtime that weekend. All vacations have already been canceled, you're not allowed to take any time off,
Right.
so that's already happening, as far as we're concerned.
Right.
And then, I have some other questions for you, if you're stick around after the meeting, I'd love to.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's all.
And I can tell you this, that we have told, and you know, this Anderson, South Carolina, they are way bigger than we are.
Yeah.
We have told 46 Entertainment, you know, we're a relatively small municipality. We don't have the outreaching, we don't have 600 people on our law enforcement or 75 people on our fire department. We just don't have that. So they have been informed that what we can give them will be limited just so that we can supply the rest of the county while they're here.
I kind of got the impression from them though, Dennis, that they have a crew. They have their own people. They have a group of people that they bring to all these locations.
They do. Yeah, they have, like I said.
All we're really gonna do is supplement what they have.
Yes, yes. But, you know, it's like the ambulances. They were talking, am I saying 3? They want 3 ambulances out there. Does the county have 3 that we can give out there for 3 days? That's something I don't know. So we might have to go outside the county to get some of the stuff they want. You know, Mark's got what, 28 hours, 3 people and 2 vehicles. What's that, half your,
Yeah, well.
as far as the vehicle
Between
goes?
those and the departments.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a substantial amount of manpower and things that this community has that's gonna be out there for 3 days. And, you know, they have to look at that also. So, but I appreciate, go ahead.
What we also have to look at is, we're gonna have substantial boots on the ground right here in town, the airport. Every one of our facilities are gonna be maxed out.
There's no doubt about it.
At our cost too.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I'm sure that every bit of the police force will be, or most of it will be available and working traffic around town.
You know, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm betting you're gonna have a hard time finding a hotel room here in town
I'm
right now,
betting you
today,
are.
for that weekend.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think you'll find one. In fact, just 46 Entertainment, their group that they're coming with takes 200 hotel rooms.
Wow.
Just their group.
That's why I say they have a big
Yeah.
staff already, you know.
Yes,
so.
Yeah.
just their groups takes 200 hotel rooms. Now, good thing about it is, the casino hotel will be up and running by then.
Yeah.
There are 3 or 4 hotels right on 37, right there by Patterson. So within 20 minutes, they're close. That's what I was saying. Our county is not gonna see that whole economic impact. Everybody around us will see the same thing too.
Well, there's already been talk about, you know, because our airport manager's been involved in this too. there's gonna be planes flying in and out there, they're gonna buy fuel, you know.
They believe only one plane will come in.
Yeah. Well, that's one plane.
But it is one
Maybe
plane,
it'll
absolutely
take
is.
200 gallons of
Yep.
fuel.
Yep. Yeah, and they say Kid Rock is flying in.
Yeah.
The other artists will drive in,
Okay.
as of the last I knew.
Yeah.
Which I believe is still true. All right, I thank you for your time, and I'll wait around till after the meeting, we can talk some more. Thank you very much.
Appreciate coming in, Dennis.
Thank you.
Okay, items for action by unanimous consent. Motion to approve the mayor's appointment of Amanda Matson for the open position in the Hastings Public Library Board. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion.
Support.
Motion by Rocha, supported by McLean, to approve the appointment of Amanda Matson for the open position on the Hastings Public Library Board. Any questions? Roll call.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Deveroy,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Stenzel Barton,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item B, request from WBCH Radio to hold the 19th annual South Jefferson Street St. Patrick's Day Parade on Monday, March 17th, 2025, beginning at 4 p.m.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Okay, a motion by Stenzel Barton, supported by Deb Roy, to approve the request from WBCH Radio to hold the 19th annual South Jefferson Street St. Patrick's Day Parade on Monday, March 17th, 2025, beginning at 4 p.m. Any questions, comments? Y'all have got green, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, roll call.
Deveroy,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Stenzel Barton,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes.
Do we have a council meeting that day?
17th?
That's a Friday, isn't it?
Monday.
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday? I don't care.
No,
No, I don't.
It's fun.
I don't, bet we don't.
I hope so. I'm not gonna come.
You're not gonna come to the council meeting, or?
No, that's.
Isn't
No.
that a holiday?
It is a holiday. Not in our
You
house
can make it a
Council
holiday.
meeting's on
I
Tuesday.
declare.
Ours on the 10th and the 24th.
Yeah,
Okay,
I thought it
perfect.
was, yeah.
Did we vote on that yet?
Yes,
It becoming a holiday?
we did not
Every
vote on it, but I'm
every day's
ready.
a holiday.
Okay, next item, item C, motion to approve the Hastings Rotary and Kiwanis Club's concession sales and beer and wine sales agreement. Everybody get a chance to look at that agreement?
Yeah, I'll make
Do
a
I-
motion to approve that.
Support.
Okay, I'm gonna let the new person take that bill. Okay, motion by McLean, supported by Devroy to, I'm on the wrong one. I got all messed up. Motion by McLean, supported by Devroy to approve Hastings Rotary and Kiwanis Club's concession sales for beer and wine sales agreement. Any questions? Roll call.
Stenzel Barton,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Deveroy,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Next item. That's not the next item. Next item, motion to approve Titan Park for the police department to host the Berry County First Responders Day Out event on Saturday, July 12th, 2025, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Do I hear that motion?
I'll make that motion, sir.
Motion by Barlow,
Support.
supported by Rocha, to approve the police department's request to host the Berry County First Responders Day Out event on Saturday, July 12th, 2025, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Titan Park. Any questions? Roll call.
Brem,
Yes.
Stenzel Barton,
Yes.
Deveroy,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay. Also in your packet, you have 6 invoices totaling $68,231.19 Do I hear a motion to approve and place on file?
Yeah, support.
Brem?
Yeah.
Motion by Brem, supported by McLean, to receive, place on file 6 invoices totaling $68,231.19. Roll call.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes?
Rezegi,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Deborah,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item 10A, and this goes along with the previous item. Entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2025-02 to stay the necessary ordinance for the Berry County First Responders Day at Tyden Park on July 12th, 2025. Do I hear a motion to approve that resolution?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Support.
Everybody's quick tonight.
I see that. We'll be out of here by 7:30.
I know, keep it up, everybody.
Don't jinx it, please.
Okay, motion by Stenzelbarton, supported by Nesbit, to approve Resolution 2025-02 to stay the necessary ordinance for the Berry County First Responders Day at Tyden Park on July 12th, 2025. Any questions? Roll call.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Deborah,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes?
Nesbit,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item 10B, entertain a motion to approve the quote by CNN Heating and Cooling for a ductless split system for the City Hall server room in the amount of $5,250.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Motion by Brem, supported by McLean, to approve the quote by CNN Heating and Cooling for a ductless split system for the City Hall server room in the amount of $5,250. Questions? Everybody know what this is?
Mini split.
Well, she went
We're
into
gonna-
pretty
we're-
good detail.
We're gonna
It's easier.
cool the server room.
It's as best as I could explain it.
It was good.
It was, because it made sense to me.
Your Honor, I need to excuse myself from this, just so we know that I won't be voting on it, because I have a relationship with CNN from a previous engagement where we were co-sponsors of a football team.
Are you gonna profit from this?
I don't want it to
Because
appear that...
you have to vote unless you have a direct,
It's been 3 years. I don't see how I could profit. I just don't want it to appear that I have some type of favoritism.
yeah, that's.
If that's all right with you, as long
That's
as
fine,
we
that's fine,
understand
but
that
you
we
have
sponsor
to
the
be able to
public.
answer the question. Are you gonna benefit financially from doing this?
I can't see how. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Because Robert Rules of Order says you have to vote, right?
Yes. So if somebody feels that they have a conflict, then they are to do what you just did and to present that as a potential conflict, and then the rest of you can either make a determination about if it is or isn't a conflict or refer it to the city attorney.
That's what I understood as well. That's why I was bringing it up. I
So-
cannot
No conflict.
see how I would
No
profit.
conflict.
It's been several years since we sponsored together.
I appreciate you bringing it up.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other comments? Okay, we have a motion by Brem, supported by McLean, to approve the quote by CNN Heating and Cooling for a ductless split system for the City Hall server room in the amount of $5,250.
Can you say that 3 times really fast?
I've already said it 2 more times.
No. It's funny every time you say it.
Roll call.
Barlow,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Deborah,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item C, entertain a motion to approve the proposal from Integrated Controls Incorporated to replace the failed controllers and write new logic in the amount of $6,995. This is the controls for our filter system at the water treatment plant.
I'll make the-
Every so often, we have to turn it on, and the thing goes through a cycle, and it's just like a backwash for a swimming pool, if you have a swimming pool. Well, that kind of simplifies it, right?
Yes, but I hate the word backwash, and that's why it does not appear in this memo anywhere.
But that's what it does.
It makes me cringe,
Yeah.
but yes, that is what it is.
Well, what happens, we flush all the iron through these filters, and when
It's
all,
not like kids backwash.
when it's all clean, and then you dispose of that water.
Thank you, Jackie.
Anyhow. Do I hear a
I
mo-
got 3 kids.
I'll make the motion.
I support.
Somebody make the motion.
Yes,
Yeah, somebody
Barlow.
down there did.
Motion by Barlow, supported by Debroy, to approve the proposal from Integrated Controls Incorporated to replace a failed controller and write new logic in the amount of $6,995. Any questions? I think I've explained it pretty well. Roll call.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, item D. Entertain a motion to purchase 3 complete sets of structural firefighter protective clothing from Axes and Irons for the total cost of $10,859.34. Do I hear that motion?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Nesbit, supported by McLean, to authorize purchase of 3 complete sets of structural firefighting protective clothing from Axes and Irons for the total cost of $10,859.34. Any questions? Roll call.
McLean,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Okay, item E, motion to approve Moore and Burge Inc. to perform construction engineering for the East State Street project in amount not to exceed $54,000. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion by McLean, supported by Nesbit, to approve Moore and Burge Inc. to perform construction engineering for the East State Street project in an amount not to exceed $54,000. Discussion.
I have a question. Was that part of that original amount for that whole project, or is this something in addition?
So, back when we started this project, they gave actually I think it's what's included in here, they gave a proposal for all of their services.
Okay.
But at that time, council only approved design, because that's the phase that we were on.
Okay.
So, it's the same price that they quoted before.
Okay.
It is not included in the grant,
Okay.
however.
Right.
It is the same project, it's just not a cost that's covered by the grant.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll repeat that again. Motion made by McLean, supported by Nesbit, to approve Moore and Burge Inc. I think that's how you pronounce that. To perform construction engineering for the East State Street project in an amount not to exceed $54,000. No further comments, questions, roll call.
Brem,
Yes.
Devroy,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Rezegi,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item F, motion to authorize the sale of a 2015 Ford Taurus. The sale of this vehicle is likely to be over $5,000, requiring council approval for the sale. Do I hear a motion to put this thing up for sale?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Okay, motion by Barlow, supported by Nesbit, to authorize the sale of a 2015 Ford Taurus. This sale of this vehicle will likely be over $5,000, requiring city council approval for sale. And I think you said it's got 54,000 miles on it?
59,000.
59,000 miles on it? Any questions? Make somebody a good car,
Mm-hmm.
if you're into Fords.
Right.
Okay. Motion by.
Glad you said it, not me.
Yeah, I know. Okay, any further comments? Roll call.
Rocha.
Yes.
Brem.
Yes.
Beveroy.
Yes.
Nesbit.
Yes.
Stenzel Barton.
Yes?
Rezegi.
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Barlow.
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Item G, entertain a motion to authorize a letter of support for BEAD, B-E-A-D, Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program on behalf of the City Council. This is authorizing city manager to send out a letter in support of this project. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Okay, motion by Brem, supported by McLean, to authorize letter of support for the BEAD, Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program on behalf of the City of Hastings. That's a letter being drafted by the city manager. Any questions?
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
If I'm reading this correctly, this letter is just, it's a requirement to be able to get that federal funding, correct? This is just one step in order to
It's
get
a
that?
part of their application, so
Okay.
they want to show that there's a wide breadth of community support for the project.
And so then if they do come back and say your application isn't approved, you are gonna receive this grant funding, then you'll come back with us with, because there's a plethora of questions that aren't answered in the packet. The cost to us if it's not covered under the grant, how much the grant is, what it actually does cover cost, time of construction, all that other stuff that's not incorporated in this packet. So I just want to make sure that you'll come back and we'll be able to go over a breadth
So,
of that.
no, because we're not directly affiliated with this program at all.
Okay.
So the only thing we're doing by this letter is saying, yes, we think that more options for broadband and wider access to broadband is beneficial to residents in the city of Hastings and to our overall goals. So if they get the grant and are able to move forward, I don't know specifically where they're constructing. One of the questions that I asked when we got this request was, well, why this company as opposed to other companies that are applying for the same grant within the county? And the response was, this program will somewhat come into Hastings and is closer to the city and is covering a greater area than the other project applications. So that's why this particular company's project benefits us to a greater extent. Obviously, the more access there is in the county, the better. There's plenty of people who work here in the city but don't live in the city, live in the surrounding areas, and it's still beneficial to us for them to have that access, or they go to school here or anything like that. But the actual nature of the specific details of how it's constructed and all of that, we won't really be involved in that to a significant extent.
My biggest concern is, will there be any cost for the city incurring with this letter of approval at all?
No.
Like construction, anything whatsoever?
No.
Okay. That's my biggest concern. If there's not, then I'm
Yep,
okay.
we're not contributing anything financially.
Okay. Thank you.
This is nothing like the water sewer warranty thing that we.
Oh, no, this is a
so
company
far out of
that's
hand,
coming
It's almost
in.
like the car warranty thing going now. They contact you all the time now on that, and I don't wanna do that again with any place.
I guess I'm a little confused about the,
I just wanna make sure it's not like that, because that water sewer program sends you a letter maybe 2 times a month now, and I'm getting so many complaints about it because they're almost acting like they're part of the city.
so they send a letter, I know that's not what we're talking about, but they send a letter quarterly and then there's a follow-up letter with every mailing.
Got 3 letters last month.
So I don't know why you got 3 last month unless one was significantly delayed in the mail. But this is not at all a warranty program. This is a business that is installing a facility that people can access for broadband service.
See, it's no different than, occasionally we'll get, everybody knows we belong to the municipal league. Every once in a while, we'll get a letter from, or we'll get an email from our friends at the municipal league asking us to support something. And that, basically all this is, the more letters of support that these people get, the better chance they get of getting a grant. So that's all it is. They're asking us to fill out a letter and send it to them, and a lot of times these letters are generic. you know, you just sign them or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the example letter is in the packet, that's what
Right,
I plan to
right.
send, it's very brief and straightforward.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Rezegi,
Yes.
McLean,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Rocha,
Yes.
Stenzelbarton,
Yes.
Barlow,
Yes.
Deveroy,
Yes.
Brem,
Yes.
Tassava.
Yes. Staff presentations and policy discussions. Item A, purchasing ordinance.
So I've made a few modifications to the draft based on your feedback from our last discussion, as well as some input from the city attorney. We had a few just minor points that I wanted some clarification on, so I've made some adjustments related to that as well. But I thought it might be helpful to do like a brief summary of the process. It's a little bit easier to see a one-page bullet point structure than to go through all the verbiage of the ordinance itself. So the way that this functions is that anything that is under $1,000, so currently that threshold's $300, but the department head authorizes that purchase on an order form, and then it's reviewed by the finance director and then sent to accounts payable to remit payment to the vendor. So that's the simplest one that we have. So then if it's a little bit more expensive, if it's between $1,000 and $15,000, which is currently between $300 and $5,000, but we talked about modifying that, then the department head oversees the process of finding competent vendors and soliciting quotes for service, and then makes a recommendation for purchase and submits a approval request. I started echoing. Sorry, request using a purchase order. That's then reviewed by the finance director and then sent to me, and I review it to make sure that it followed the proper procedures and review the budgetary impacts, and then either grant approval or request additional information. So something that we had talked about last time was if we wanted to modify the threshold for when it comes to council. So if it's some dollar amount that's between 1,000 and 15,000, that's where we'd put that step, where anything greater than that dollar amount would have that additional step of receiving council approval, and then authorization would be finalized and sent to the department head and accounts payable so that they can proceed with the purchase. And then for anything that's over $15,000, the department head would initiate the procedure for soliciting formal RFPs and starting that process. And then the department head would make a recommendation for selection and submit a memo for council to me. I review that and get that on the council agenda, and then the finance director reviews it as well. I make sure that everything has followed the proper procedures before it gets to you so that you have all the information that's necessary to make a decision. And then you can approve, deny, request more information, or change the sealed bid process if there's something about it that didn't meet your expectations or you want to modify for cost. And then that authorization, if it moves forward, is sent to the department head and accounts payable to proceed with that purchase. So hopefully this simplifies the structure of that process a little bit so that you can better understand what happens for most purchases that fall within those price amounts.
Real quick, while we have a pause, that dollar sign to be determined is what you were waiting for us to decide?
Correct,
Okay.
yes, yep.
Myself don't have a problem with the $15,000 limit.
When it has to go to council, or?
To authorize you to go from the 300 to 5,000, we're gonna go from 1,000 to 15,000 before it has to come to council, yes.
Okay.
I really don't have a problem with any of it.
I would prefer to stay at 5,000. And these are my reasons why. transparency to our community, accountability to our community. That's one of our biggest jobs, is being financially responsible and making those types of decisions. And it's nothing against Sarah or any of the staff members, but I feel that that's part of one of our duties, is to keep a good handle on that. And so I understand the under $1,000, I understand the $1,000 to $5,000, but when it comes to us reviewing, I'm not comfortable going over the $5,000. And I've had people approach me and constituents say to stand my ground with that, because I'm afraid if we go that route and it doesn't work, are we gonna be able to retract that? Or if Sarah leaves, are we gonna be able to change it back? I just, for all intents and purposes, accountability, transparency, and the fact that that's our job, I don't feel comfortable going over the $15,000, or up to the $15,000. I wanna stay at 5.
As Mr. Rocher brought up, last time we talked about this, because I was just on the opposite, we have a responsibility. And yeah, it'd be easier to give it up, but he's right. We are paid to be here. We should do it. And I think 5,000 was a good dollar amount. Not that we don't trust you. It was just, that's what I felt as well after I thought more about what he said last time.
Any comments, Bill?
I would have to agree too with Jackie and with Terry on this issue. Stick it with the 5,000.
I agree with Jackie.
Jordan?
I could go either way, but it sounds like the decision's made.
Well, let's throw something out here. I really think they need to move it up from $300 to $1,000.
Oh, I definitely agree with that too.
Okay,
That part, yeah.
From between 1,000 to 5,000, I still think they should seek competitive pricing. Well, no, I don't. Let me step back a minute. $1,000 to $5,000. You know, I think that should be up to the department head and the city manager. From $5,000 to $15,000, I think we should still require competitive pricing. So anything between $5,000 and $15,000, the city staff comes back to us with 3 prices if they can get them, between $5,000 and $15,000. We decide.
No, it would be over $5,000, anything over $5,000.
From $5,000 to $15,000, I'm saying that. 15,000 and above ought to be just what she's recommending, sealed bids.
Oh.
Because you can call around, just like Mark found out here about protective clothing. You know, $10,000 for this stuff. You know, and he went out and solicited pricing. You didn't go for sealed bids, did you? So I think we should raise the lower limit up to $1,000. Anything between $1,000 and $5,000, and up to $1,000, that is by approval of the department head. Anything over $1,000 to $5,000 should be competitive pricing. No, there I'm going. I'm not listening to myself again. For $1,000 to $5,000 should be the staff should solicit the pricing. From $5,000 to $15,000, I think ought to be competitive pricing. You call around and you tell somebody what you want, or you post you post qualifications for whatever you're doing, or you know, specifications for something you want to do. And for $5,000 to $15,000, we authorize staff to get competitive pricing. You send out letters to different companies, ask them to bid on it, and they give you a quote. So from $5,000 to $15,000, I think that could be approved by the clerk treasurer and the city manager. Anything over $5,000 or $15,000 is totally sealed bids. So
Yes.
What happens when somebody wants to bid on something like our tree work? You have a bid opening at 10 o'clock. These people all come in here. They have a sealed envelope with their price in it. Staff opens that up, and you look at which you feel is the best price. You know, not necessarily the lowest price. you do a little background on whoever, and then you bring it to the council to recommend who you want to have it. So that's why I think up, raise the low part up to $1,000 instead of $300. And that's on the department head's discretion. From $1,000 to $5,000 is, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
I
I do.
keep repeating what now.
Let me say it
Should
back
I
to you.
summarize?
And then you correct me if I'm saying the wrong thing that you're thinking, because I think you and I are on the same page.
And I think that will give everybody, your constituents and everybody, I think it would make them happy, because we're not giving away the farm, you know.
Even the 15,000 is more for sealed bids.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be from 5,000 to 15,000 then for sealed bids?
No.
5,000
Yes.
and up.
Yeah.
So wait, can I reiterate?
No,
Yeah.
it's 15,000 and up on sealed bids.
No.
So we're,
He's telling me to go ahead, and you guys are saying no?
I can summarize.
Okay, yes, please do.
Okay, so anything that is under $1,000 goes through the basic process. So anything that is between $1,000 and $15,000, we're still getting multiple quotes for, but it's a less formalized process. Within that, anything that is any purchase at all that's $5,000 and above still comes to council, but it's not that there's that sealed bid requirement. Anything that's we expect to be $15,000 or more, we do the sealed bids. As always, though, you can waive that requirement just depending on what it is, but we understand that that's the expectation.
That is correct. Yes.
Somebody quick make a motion.
I make a motion to what Sarah said.
Okay.
I'll support that. I'll support that.
There you go.
Support
So
that.
we'll have to draft all of this into ordinance form and bring it to you for first reading, but the document will reflect those changes.
So I do have one question, Sarah.
Yes.
So, when the expectation as far as $1,000 to $15,000 is, competitive pricing, wouldn't require a sealed bid, will the expectation from staff be that they put that in the report, like, hey, I called this person, this person, this person?
Yes, so an example of that is just today, you approved the ICI controls to do the
yep.
filter. That was getting multiple quotes.
Okay, perfect.
That wasn't through the sealed bid process.
Perfect, okay.
So it would be similar to that. And even on things that don't come to council, when a department head submits their purchase order request to me, they'll put multiple quotes in the stack so that I still review them. So
Okay.
they're used to doing that process.
Okay. I get it.
See, we have a purchasing policy, and that's still what they require in purchasing policy. You get, where you can, at least 3 bids. Right?
Or quotes,
Right, well, yeah.
Estimates.
Yeah.
Well,
depending
see,
on what
here
it
we go
is.
again. You're gonna get anything up to $15,000, you're gonna get 3 quotes. Anything over 15,000, you're getting sealed bids.
Correct.
Correct.
Right. So does everybody feel more comfortable with that?
Yes.
With that?
Yeah.
Okay, we will write that up
Well, do you want
accordingly.
us to make a motion and vote on it, or?
Well, you'll be voting on the ordinance, so,
Okay,
well,
okay.
there's no need to take action
So
now.
conceptually, we kinda agree with what we just come up with,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
Yep.
I believe so.
Yep.
I don't know what he said, so.
Terry, you're not supposed to
I
say
think
that.
it was
I'm
just
sorry.
in the
Repeat it
wording.
again.
One more time.
No.
I
Anyhow.
can read it to you.
Okay, moving on.
So, item B, council goals.
So in your packet, I've included a summary of the council goals as we discussed them at our workshop meeting. So those have 4 primary goals of developing a funding strategy for long-term costs, improving mobility-related infrastructure, enhancing citizen education and awareness opportunities, and a review of the city charter. All of those have some goals underneath them. One of the things that I wanted to get your feedback on is in regard to the pedestrian bridge over Broadway near Tyden Park. I need to know if that should be a sub-goal. Many of you brought it up. it's a very expensive project. So the city of Wyoming is adding a couple pedestrian bridges right now, as well as some other improvements to their town center. And one of those bridges is $6.5 million, spanning 5 lanes, I believe. They require a lot of space on the area adjacent to the road. So if that's something that you really want me to pursue, I can do that, but I didn't know if given those parameters, if that was really something that you wanted to include in the goal list. So I'm just looking for clarification about what you want me to do in regard to that particular topic.
So if I may, I think one of the best things that we could do is really public funding for that. Raise and fundraise for something like that, at least to help offset the costs. Because I think that's something the community as a whole wants, but I think you can outreach to some of the more high-profile, richer members of the community who would want something to put their name on that, say, welcome to Hastings, the Rocha Bridge. Now, I don't have $3 million to put towards the bridge, but just as an example. I only have $2.5 million, so I apologize for that. But
is that a commitment on your part?
There you go.
It's on the record now.
It's on the record now. So that's kind of my idea when it comes to that. If that's something that's beyond the scope of what can happen, then perhaps it's something we take off. But I don't see the city fully funding that. I don't think that's a possibility, at least in my purview. I don't think we have the funds, although I do believe it's something we need.
Maybe get state pay for it.
What's that?
Maybe get state pay for their roads.
I mean, I could reach out to a couple of reps and see.
Yeah. Any other comment on that?
Well, this would show the people of the city of Hastings that we are looking at it.
Yeah.
And if they realize, you're looking at $5.5 million or $6 million, they recognize why we haven't or aren't doing it. But at least they know that we have looked at that possibility. And I think it's important for the people to see that these are things we're looking at, and we recognize that it's something that we cannot do unless we get other funding.
Right.
But at least the people know, and I think it's important that the people of the city of Hastings recognize that we are looking at something like this, because they see it and they say, why can't we do that? Well,
so we can put in the budget, leave this as a goal, put in the budget funding for a feasibility study, and then go from there and address it again at budget time if you want to do that.
Do you have a question or comment, Jackie?
Well, I was just gonna, I know the answer, but I just.
You want to hear me repeat it?
No. I was just thinking, as far as, I think, everyone in our community would enjoy that, but is that where everybody in our community wants us to put our funding at?
Yeah.
So is there some way we could, I know we've done it in the past with like polling or a
Monkey poll.
Yeah, and a survey monkey, and put something out there where we could just kind of get the feel of what the community, is thinking. Because we already all know the answer, but just for
Maybe we can get the comments from some of these people on social media to tell us how to do it.
I don't know, I'm not on social media.
I know,
My thought is
I could post that question.
No.
If we had an extra $6 million, we should put that in our roads.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I think we need to leave it on our goals and objectives.
Okay.
Maybe do a feasibility study down the road.
Yeah, maybe we can do a survey first and then let that inform, because the feasibility study will cost something,
Right,
so maybe before we do that, we can
Yeah.
get a little
Feel out.
more feedback from people who use that area and use that crossing, so.
And I'm not sure, when you do those types of surveys, do you ask them if they're a resident of the city of Hastings?
We typically do.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yep.
what I thought, so.
On that survey, you could probably put on there that it may cost over $6 million.
Yeah.
And John Rocha only has 2.5.
Right, there you go, yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I just want to make a comment on it. I thought that sounded really wonderful because it is such a problem area getting across there, and it is a continuation of the river walk, but it's a lot of money. But that makes me wonder, could we research a little bit more what we are doing with the island thing, you know, that maybe more lights or something, because I think it's a dangerous spot.
Yeah, so we have approval to put the pedestrian island back in for the spring for the season, but we've definitely already had some conversations with MDOT about how to improve that crossing and potentially making it more year-round instead of just seasonal, what that would look like. The corners right now are not lined up, so pedestrians are walking sideways at sort of an angle, which just makes it even take longer to get to the other side because it's a greater distance to travel. So those are all types of things that we've had some preliminary discussions with MDOT about. The pedestrian island as it was put in last year, great starting point. There's definitely ways to improve it, however, and we've talked about signage too. My understanding from MDOT is that there's supposed to be more signage just because it's a trail crossing. There's supposed to be some signage that says that there's a crossing up ahead. That'll give drivers a little more warning of what they should expect up ahead as well. So that's something that I understand that they're working on, getting that installed. So there's certainly room to improve what we've done so far. And those are all things we can address in the years to come.
Said we're getting out at 7:30 today.
I know.
Go ahead, you still got a lot more to.
So yeah, does anybody have any other feedback on the other council goals or feel that something wasn't represented properly?
No, I feel like they're great, and I feel like a lot of them are attainable.
Yes.
I love the citizen education awareness opera. I absolutely love that. I think that's imperative for community involvement. I love it.
Great.
Anything else?
All right.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless somebody has a question on goals.
Okay, in your packet you have Chief Boulder's monthly report. Deputy Chief's here tonight if you have any questions of anything on their report. Do you have anything to add?
It wasn't my manager's report though.
I thought you were done.
Well, that was staff presentations and policy discussions.
I didn't want to give you a report anyway.
I asked you if you were done.
So, I did want to bring up Mercy Ambulance's request. So they came to the most recent Birch meeting and presented a proposal to fund them long-term. So you may recall, maybe it was a couple of years ago now, year and a half or so ago, we and the members of Birch all contributed funds to some capital improvements that they needed. The funding model for ambulances is a significant challenge, just the whole way that that's structured. And so they're lacking the ability to even meet payroll in some instances. They've had to, they've been able to make payroll. I don't want to say they haven't paid anybody, but they represented that they had to use their line of credit to make payroll. So it's very tight is what I'm saying. And so as a result of that, they would like us to have a longer term funding strategy to contribute towards the ambulance service. So they have a dollar amount that has been put through a formula to but based on population between us and the members of Birch. It would, under that proposal, cost the city close to $93,000 a year. We're currently not contributing anything, so that is a pretty substantial amount of money to start having. So I have not had the opportunity yet to talk to the other township supervisors and people who are involved, and Mercy Ambulance did send me some additional information this afternoon that I haven't had a chance to peruse, but this is a significant issue that's on the table before us now. I'm really interested in knowing kind of the direction that the other townships are going before making a proposal, but I think there's a short-term and a long-term issue here. The short-term is how do we continue to ensure that we have reliable ambulance service available to our residents in the short term, and then longer term, our agreement, our existing agreement ends the end of 2026. What do we do then? Do we need to evaluate things differently? To me, those are two separate questions. But just know that this is something that's on the table that we'll have to deal with in relatively short order. But I need to speak with the other townships that are involved and get a feel for what they're planning to do or what they're planning to recommend to their boards before knowing what to recommend to you.
Questions? So, I thought back in November, December, either at state or federal level, they passed a bill that would reimburse for Medicaid or Medicare. Isn't that gonna help them out?
I don't recall what the bill was exactly, but it was for public ambulance
Wasn't
services.
private like this?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And I don't recall specifically what it did.
Does Rodney know if we might have to bid this out?
I haven't talked to him since the meeting. I don't know what the other townships are looking to do. I don't really know a solid timeline on this either. There may be other options beyond bidding things out to other services. So I'm looking for a proposal from a consultant to help us evaluate what some of those choices are. Someone who's more familiar with EMS and how that works. Because there's plenty that we could do on our own, but I think that this is a substantial service. And it's very critical to our community, and we need to have some more professional assistance in guiding us in that. So who other stakeholders may be to kind of walk that process with us, I'm still figuring that out.
Yeah, it's a ambulance service, and I don't know if it's this way all over the state of Michigan, but in Berry County, I think it's tough because I know they were in dispute with the hospital about picking patients up and taking them to. I'd like to know how the heck they come up with the $90,000 for us. What kind of formula did you use to get at that?
So it's based on population. So they have a total amount of money that they feel they need to have contributed to them to continue their services, and then they've divided that by population according to the 2020 census. We're the largest municipality, so our share is significantly greater, but.
You know, we also have the most nursing homes in the area.
Sure, and there's other ways. I mean, that may be a discussion point as well. Does that formula dividing strictly by population make sense for this? Or should we divide it a different way or modify a formula? That's something that could be discussed as well.
Oh, anyway.
So this is very preliminary. We just had that meeting, a couple weeks ago, if that. And there's still more information to get and feedback from the other communities, because really we're all in this together.
Right.
This is something that we're not walking this road alone.
You know, I think we've had it pretty good for a long time with Mercy. You know, they've done us a real good service. It's just like everything else. You know, we got to be transparent. We got to know exactly why we're paying this, and you know what's out there that and I can't see anybody else coming in from Grand Rapids or Lansing to service us down here. But we'll see what happens at Rock the Country here, how many ambulances we have.
Is this something like Grand Rapids pays an ambulance service?
A lot of municipalities pay for ambulance service. That's not at all unusual.
I was just wondering if it was, or, they're just picking on poor old Berry County or not,
No, and if we were to change services at some time in the future, we could expect to pay something. So it's not at all unusual for a municipality to contribute or to even have a millage specifically for ambulance. We haven't had to contribute anything for a very long time.
Stay tuned.
I'm sorry?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned,
For later.
yes.
Yeah. I'm the one that can't hear it over here. So, anything else?
No.
Okay. Okay, next up is, Police Chief Boulder's monthly report. Everybody get a chance to look at it. Any questions? We have Jalissa here, and looks like she wants to get up there and talk. She learned from the master.
But she probably told her she had to.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for voting yes on the stays at Titan Park. We're excited to have that event again. It's traditionally National Night Out, but we chose to do it on a Saturday instead, so.
You can have a dunk booth.
Whoever wants to volunteer for the dunk booth,
Yeah,
yes.
there you go.
We'll try to get that.
You do it, I'll come and dunk you.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so no, we're excited to have it. It's been a couple years, so we did change the name. It's a little bit of a mouthful, but it's specific for Berry County and to make sure that people know really what we're celebrating. That's, you know, community and first responders coming together. And so again, thank you for approving that, and I will be putting a committee together starting tomorrow. So planning will start immediately now that it's been passed. So if there's any questions I can answer, I'm here.
Any questions?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also in your report, Clerk Treasurer Perrin's monthly financial report. Any questions of Linda? Any comments, Linda? That's not in this report. She was hoping to have a fill-in tonight, or an understudy, but she's sick.
Understudy. I'm not gonna be here in 2 weeks, so
I'm sure Amy will take care of it.
she will.
Okay, also in your report is Community Development Director King's monthly report. Dan, you have anything to add?
Unless there's questions, nothing.
Any questions of Dan? The only thing I saw he left off here, I was looking at the last page, upcoming events, St. Patrick's Day Parade and Thornapple Arts Council. April 12th, I want everybody to remember Barry Robey's in town. So, no questions of Dan? Okay, reports and communications. Item A, Riverside Cemetery Preservation Advisory Board meeting minutes of February 12th, 2025, and the draft minutes, the DDA minutes of February 20th, 2025. Entertain a motion to accept those two items and place them on file.
Make that motion.
Support. Motion by Bram, supported by Rosha. To accept and place on file items A and B. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same. Public comment. We lost the public. Mayor and council comment. Any comment tonight, Bill?
I have nothing to say.
Terry?
No, sir.
Norman?
I think Sarah's doing a great job of keeping us informed of things that's happening. Appreciate that so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
She's always there, so if you ever have any questions, just give her a call or
If you need me to summarize the purchasing ordinance again, I'm here for you.
Gordon? Nothing. Jackie?
No, I don't have anything.
Dan?
Nope.
John?
Nothing at this time?
Roadsher?
No, sir.
What'd you say?
Oh, he was already saying that, so I said John
He just
Roadsher.
skipped over.
Okay, nothing else to come for council, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Motion by McLean, supported by Devereaux, excuse me.
You're just making it up.
Devereaux just kinda has a smooth roll.
Couldn't believe how many.
You've been really funny tonight.
I know, must be something in the water. Maybe
Oh, boy.
maybe it's in the water. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. We're adjourned. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
I am hearing so many different noises.
Echoing, it's terrible, something.